Hello there, YouTube. I don't know if you can see behind me, but yes, there is still snow on the ground out here in sunny upstate New York. But it's actually like 42 degrees, so I'm out on the porch with a cigar. When I went to Florida for spring break a little ways back, I meant to put up a few videos while I was there. Didn't get around to doing it. So this is an update since then. Alright, let's talk Florida. I went to Universal Studios. More specifically, the Harry Potter part of it, because our assortment of friends that was with us, they're kind of obsessed with it, so we had to go do that. It was amazing how close it looks to the movie, and I wonder what point J.K. Rowling realized she would make millions and millions of dollars off of that, and that every single thing in that book series was marketable. Almost went out on me. Earlier in the week, I went to downtown Disney and visited a couple of shops that I was looking forward to, and a hat shop that I did not know I was going to go to, but turned out to be well worth my trip because I got a nice straw hat, because the other one I have is scratchy and awful. And the other two shops that I went to that I was really looking forward to were The Art of Shaving and Sosa Family Cigars, which is where this comes from. Now, don't ask me what series this is. Didn't have a band on it. It was in a box by the door, a big wooden box with a bunch of others that are similar to it, like different sizes, and some sort of anniversary thing or some special edition thing. But I can't remember what it was. So, oh well. It's turning out to be a good cigar. Kind of a peppery taste to it. A little bit of leather. An Art of Shaving. I actually went to Art of Shaving twice that week. The first time I went to the one in downtown Disney, because there are two in Orlando. One at downtown Disney and one at the Mall at Millennia, which is an upscale mall full of hoity-toity stores with surprisingly good prices for what it is. Right next to the Aston Martin dealership. I kid you not. Aston Martin dealership across the street. The first time I went, I just went in and bought the things I was going to buy. I got one of each kind of cream. I didn't get any of the soaps. I got a little trial of the pre-shave and aftershaves. The pre-shave oil and the aftershave balm. So far, the pre-shave oil, I really only need if I use a straight razor. Because it just gunks up the safety razor I use. And the second time I went in, I went to the one at the Mall at Millennia and got one of their Royal Shaves. That was $55 and worth every single cent of it. They treat you like royalty when they give you that shave. And if you live near somewhere that has an Art of Shaving, I'd recommend you at least try it once if you haven't already, because it's great. Alright, so Art of Shaving. Sosa Family Cigars, if I could speak. It's a little shop in downtown Disney. Quite a bit smaller than our local cigar store called Brown's. But their selection was pretty good. and about half, they had a smallish humidor. Half of it was their own stuff, and they have quite a selection of their own stuff, and the other half was other brands, mostly Arturo Fuente, a few Monte Cristos, not much else. And I got a couple of cigars from there, including this one, and so far they've all been really good smokes. All right, then let's see. Later in the week, when I went to the Art of Shaving for the second time, I discovered there was a L'Occitane store right across from Art of Shaving. And for those of you who have never heard of L'Occitane, it's a upscale skincare kind of thing. So I went, and because I knew that they had their own line of men's shaving paraphernalia, including some Plasan synthetic brushes that I had been spending so much that week I couldn't really validate getting one of those. But I did get one of their pucks of soap for, I think it was $10, which for a good sized puck of soap is a pretty good deal, and it works fantastic. All the Art of Shaving and L'Occitane stuff that I got works really well. The driving was the killer on that trip. It was 24 hours either way. Ended up being with stops and gas stops. Gas, once you get into like the Carolinas, oh my God, it's like $1.70 a gallon, which we were very excited about because it hasn't been that low here in a long time. Though mid grade is now is $2.80 up here, so for our older cars, we've been using that. Otherwise, the Florida trip was pretty uneventful. I got to smoke a cigar pretty much every day, which was great. Because the weather was 60s, 70s all week. Except for the evenings. The evenings got kind of chilly. It was about what it is right now, around 40-something. I managed to get one of the people on that trip back into cigars if he hadn't already. Because after I had gone to before I went to the second cigar store I went to Corona, the Corona Cigar Company in Florida as well, and got a few of their things. That is a big store. It's a lot bigger than our local store. They carry pretty much anything you can think of. Minus of one or two things. They don't carry Nat Sherman, which I found surprising, since I like Nat Sherman and it's a fairly popular brand, especially with that timeless cigar. Which led me to finding my new online retailer for cigars. I go to the Corona Cigar Company now because they have more of what I'm interested in there, and really good prices. Being in Florida, it's all tax exempt, or at least when you do the online shopping. All right, so Corona Cigar Company. Oh yes, before I went there. The other guy who was with us said, "Hey, pick me up a cigar. Keep in mind, I haven't smoked in a while, so go easy on me." I'm talking too much. The cigar is almost going out. There's one thing I will say about this cigar. Is at the end, I used a... where is it? It's in my pocket. I got myself a humidor recently. If you didn't see that video already, and along with it came I believe to be vintage wedge cutter, and it's a really nice cutter too. The blades are super sharp, and made in Solingen, Germany. And it has this really nice etched pattern on it. If you can't see that. Oh, yeah. I think the camera's picking it up. But you can just hear it. It's just real solid, and it works really well. this cigar, it did not. I think it dried slightly, but I like my cigars on the dry side, like 60% humidity or around 59, 58, which I know is a no-no, but I think this one got a little dried in transit on the way from Florida to here, but it doesn't seem to be affecting the way it's smoking too much. The burn's a little wonky now, but so anyway, he said, "Go easy on me." The guy who said, "Get me a cigar." So I got him a Punch Rare Corojo, which is incidentally is one of my favorite cigars. Although I must say I do like those Nat Sherman Hosts. Tastes like a stick of butter when you're smoking it. It's really good. So I brought it back. We both sat down by the pool, our heated pool, and smoked our cigars. And he said, "Yep, and I remember why I love cigars. Like, I'm going to go buy myself a box at some point along in here." So, yay. I apologize if only like half my face is lit, but the sun's going down, so it should light up more of my face as this goes along. So yeah, I don't think there's really that much else to report about that trip, because other than that, I didn't really do anything noteworthy. Yeah, nope. Bunch of cigar, tobacco, and shaving related stuff. It was all great. And Universal, great. Though I will admit some of the rides are kind of cheesy because they didn't really seem to know what they were doing with a few of them, or at least they were probably cool when they came out, but they have long since gotten outdated. So yep, and then we got it back home. I don't know if I told you this in my last video, but new job, Chinese delivery driver. I think I told you that in the last video. Had to get my car fixed. I think I told you that before the trip. Might have. Anyway, it spewed all of its oil. It turned out to be like a broken O-ring, and we fixed it for about $250 because even though the car itself is worth nothing now as a vehicle, it gets on average 42 miles to the gallon combined city highway, so it's well worth keeping on the road. Alright, let's see. So there's that vehicle. We got a new vehicle added to our now growing fleet of vehicles, because my dad has a car. He has an '08 Trailblazer. My mom has I don't remember what year it is, but it's a Nissan Versa. She hates it, and they're both getting rid of those as soon as they can afford to trade them in and have it all paid off. Because the Trailblazer goes through parts like mad, and it's not really all that well built. The Versa doesn't have the transmission that gives it great gas mileage, and it's really freaking uncomfortable to be in. My brother has his Lincoln Town car, which is kind of ended up a lemon, because things keep going wrong with it, and it needs a couple $100 worth of repairs to make it stop leaking like a sieve. But he still loves it to bits, so he says, "I'm going to try to get it to 500,000 miles if the engine doesn't blow up first," which I don't think it will, because that's a pretty stout engine in that car. And then there's my car. Well, my car, it's not really valuable enough to call it anyone's vehicle anymore, but I'm the primary driver on it. It's a 98 Volkswagen. His is a 2000 Lincoln Town car. The Signature Series, too, with the air ride suspension. Oh, damn. Relight. Pardon me when I relight this. I'm just going to keep the camera rolling. I've never had to do this with a cigar before. Yeah. Oh, there it goes. There we go. God. The shoulder's all coming apart on me. Oh, yep, there goes. Get rid of that. People complain when the wrapper falls apart on them by the head, and I don't really mind all that much because it doesn't really affect how it smokes. Because that the inner binder keeps it fairly well together. Just a cosmetic thing, really. More of an annoyance than affecting how it really smokes. See, there, the sun has actually finally come down and it's hitting my face, and oh, it's so nice. Anyway, so there's the '98 Volkswagen that I drive. Looks like an absolute pile of crap, but runs great. And then there's the new vehicle. Well, new to us. Well, not really even new to us, because my grandpa died recently, and he had I think it's a '99 Chevy Silverado extended cab, extended bed, 1500. And my grandmother, she has a really nice 2014 Chrysler minivan that we took to Florida, and so she doesn't really need she didn't really need the two vehicles anymore. And since the truck was not part of his estate, it was shared ownership between them. She says, "Hey, you guys want a truck?" And we're like, "What? Sure." She says, "I just have no use for it, and since the insurance is coming up due, I have to get rid of it before the insurance comes up, or otherwise we're just gonna have to pay for it again." So she transferred the title over to us, and now we are the owners of a '99 Chevy 1500 extended cab, extended bed. Gold flake, mind you. I don't know what possessed him to get it in that color, but it just sort of looks brown from a distance. But when you get up close to it, it's gold flake. For those of you who don't know what gold flake, I assume you know what gold flake means. It's not actually like gold in there, just like metallic gold color. So yeah, we now own that, but our driveway was getting a little bit full, and for the period when the Volkswagen was in the shop, I was driving it, and it just took up way too much space. Oh, going sideways here. Because for a while the snow was up to like 2 feet everywhere, and it was packed down on the driveway, and the driveway was sort of getting narrower and narrower because we just couldn't clear the snow. That and our snow thrower was broken, so that didn't help exactly. But when I would park that truck in the driveway over yonder, I would have to fold in I would pull in the driveway, turn it around, and face it pointing out. But I had to fold in the driver's mirror so that my dad in his Chevy could fit around it. We have since cleared off the driveway, and it's not really a problem. But I just had a habit now. I turn my little Volkswagen around so it's pointing out. That way I don't have to turn it around in the morning. School's going pretty well. It's kind of dull. Nothing really special to report. Other than I did an interview with the owners of Brown Cigar Store in Corning as a part of a project for business. You had to do an interview with a member of the business community. It just ended at that. Can't be anyone you know. So I did an interview with them. It's the third oldest in the country. Now, that would be, you would think something they would kind of advertise. It's like, we're the third oldest either cigar or tobacco retailer in the country. It's like they would have been the fourth oldest, but the oldest one went out of business in like the 80s. I said, you mean like when on like their 125th anniversary a couple years ago, the Cigar Institute of America called them up and said, "Hey, congratulations on your 125th. You're the third oldest in the country." Like, you mean the third oldest? Like, what do you mean? It's like, you were the third one to start. It's like, before you, there were 3, and that was it. You're the third. Well, 4th, or you would have been. So, that's a cool bit of local history that I didn't know about before. If you try to look it up online, you'll find a website that says, hey, we exist, and that's pretty much it. Very little information on that website, so it ended up being a very enlightening interview. He wouldn't let me do a video interview with him, but I did get audio. So I'm going to be trying to turn that into a video with just some pictures in the background and uploading it to YouTube for edification's sake. So let's see. Florida, new truck, interview with Browns, and I just ordered some cigars from Corona Cigar Company because an email showed up saying, hey, for St. Patrick's Day we have these Candela cigars for cheapsies. I was like, Candela cigars? I was like, oh, they're the green wrappers, like they're the double Claro or Candela to some people. And I said, don't see too many of those around, so I ordered a couple of their own brand, plus I think a Rocky Patel, and as an unrelated thing, a couple of CAO concert solos, I think. I think that does it for this update pretty much. I've gone on for 20 minutes now. Wow. So, thanks very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. I'd really appreciate it. And I hope you guys are having a fantastic tail end of winter. I'll catch you guys later, and have a nice day.